All right, here we go. So I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this. Actually, I've just seen it tweeted and not a lot of discussion about it. So there's a reality that basically when you look at like the psychology of the two political parties, um, Democrats tend to be the more reasonable group of people, less reactionary, sort of more like looking at the data and more willing to be honest about the state of things, whereas Republicans are much more willing to toe the party line and essentially psychologically feel whatever it is they feel like they have to feel. Uh, Considering whichever of the two parties are in power. For example, and we'll basically make this very clear with this chart, if a Republican is in power, but the economy is objectively terrible, Republicans will still say that the economy is good. Democrats will, you'll have a mixed bag. It'll be like some yes, some no, but it'll be somewhere in the middle. Um, and if a Democrat is in power and the economy is excellent, it's thriving. I'm not saying the economy is thriving right now. I'm just saying, for example, when the Democrat is in power and the economy is doing objectively well by all metrics and all measures, no matter what's happening, Republicans will say that the economy is doing absolutely terrible and it's the worst thing in the world. Look at the data that you have here. Is something strange going on when you ask people based on political party affiliation? Hey, how do you feel the economy is? What do you think? What's your perception of how the party is doing? They ask people. Share of public opinion rating the condition of the economy as very or fairly good or fairly bad. And when you ask Republicans, Democrats at the same time, like for example, when Obama was president, 75% of Democrats said the economy's great, the economy's fine. Less than 25% of Republicans said that the economy was doing fairly well. The second Donald Trump gets elected, and actually in the run up to him getting inaugurated, all of a sudden, on a dime, they go up to 90%. They just flip. Like in the course of 18 months, did the economy make a drastic turnaround? Did his tax cuts didn't even go into effect by that time? Uh, did the economy just magically like flip on a dime and get suddenly so much better? No. Okay. Totally based on perception and how they feel and how the person that they wanted, if having the person that they wanted in power. There's no objective, you're not going to get an objective answer. You're not going to get a rational, like, oh, let me look at the numbers, let me look at the data, let me see how I feel, let me see my personal situation. You have people that their personal situation didn't change at all. In fact, some of their situations got potentially worse. And that's how you know you're dealing with a potentially cult-like mentality, just because with my dear leaders in power, things are fine. When my dear leader is out of power, things are terrible. And I'm not saying that all Republicans are cultists or in a cult or like that. I know that there's plenty of rational, fine, good, smart, hardworking people. But I'm just saying, on the aggregate, you are not seeing the same behavior out of Democrats. Democrats are much more likely to give you a straight up rational answer. Now, again, of course, somewhat of a similar dynamic, but not anywhere close, right? Trump gets inaugurated, and you see the confidence from Democrats waning, but it doesn't go anywhere near as the less than 25% that the Republicans have. And you have this, when there's a coronavirus stock market crash, both numbers drop drastically. Republicans recover much, much faster. Oh, and then weird, what happens as soon as Trump loses the election and Biden gets inaugurated, boom, all of a sudden the economy stinks again, just like that, just on a dime, right? No, nothing weird happening here. You have a recovery out of COVID, inflation spiral, Democrats, honestly, opinion of the economy waning. Republicans, what were you down to like 2% at one point? Absolutely no hope there. And then as inflation comes down, you get a slow recovery in opinion from Democrats, Republicans, absolutely nothing. So you're dealing with people that are no matter what happens, you're not going to be able to have an objective, rational conversation regarding these situations, at least in terms of the economy and a number of other issues. If their guy is in charge, if their guy's in power, it'll be positive news, positive coverage, wall to wall. You'll never hear a negative thing about it. And as soon as Democrats, and even if things are absolutely the same, things are just getting better or things are stabilizing, they're just going to say things are terrible. So this is the state of American mentality. This is American psychology, on the far right or in the Republican circles. And this is part of the reason why we are in the situation that we're in. Things are as difficult as they are. Where it's impossible to work with these people and not work with them in like your day-to-day lives, but I mean politically. because you're just not going to get straight. You're not going to get good faith people arguments. You're not going to get a good faith conversation about what's really going on. So anyway, just thought I'd talk about that. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time.